Okay, here's the deal. Give me just 15 minutes and I'm gonna save you 7+ years of dropshipping mistakes. How does that sound? I'm serious, I'm not joking around. Everything that I'm gonna share with you comes from real experience and mistakes that I made personally while building my eBay and my Shopify store. So if you're just starting out, this can save you like years of frustration. Okay, and if you're already in the game, this might help you fix what's silently holding you back. Let's just say like this. So without any wasting more time, let's just jump right into this, okay? Let me just start with something very important. Like the first mistake that you should avoid is selling products without proper product research. This is very important because you see, dropshipping is like building a house. If the foundation is weak, the house can easily collapse. And in our case, the foundation is the products that we add to our dropshipping store. When I first started as an eBay dropshipper, my biggest mistake was telling myself, I think this product is cool. I like it, so I'm sure that it will sell. And every time that I thought like that, I ended up choosing like products that, they were cool, but they just failed. They cost me more money and time than anything else. So I learned the hard way that what looks good to you doesn't necessarily mean that it has demand. Like everything changed when I started using proper product research tools. And then I began discovering products that, my friend, I didn't even know it existed. Okay, it's pretty cool. You open like a portal, But anyway, it's like products with real demand, consistent sales, and strong market potential. And that's the beauty of data. Like data does not lie, So once I started basing my product selection on real sales data, I began finding products that sold consistently. As you can see, I'm pretty excited about this because it was one of my biggest mistakes ever. Anyway, from there, my business shifted from something that was just like floating to something that was actually generating revenue. And the feeling was amazing, okay? Because it meant real profit. And it didn't just happen to me in one day. It didn't happen like in 1 week. It happened as I kept adding products backed by strong sales data, high demand, low competition, and then I started seeing results, okay? And I remember one specific product, it was a nightstand that I found during my research. There was like almost no competition at all, and the sourcing price was cheap. And once I listed, it completely shifted my business. Like I was selling around 15 units per day with an about $17 profit per sale after marketplace fees. So you can do the math, all right? And honestly, without the product research tools, I would never have thought that this type of product could sell so well. So all this is just to say that I personally use Zik Analytics to find and validate winning products for both my businesses, okay, on eBay and on Shopify. And if you are an eBay dropshipper, tools like the competitor research, for example, you have to use it because you can use it to see what other sellers are actually selling and adding these winning products to your own store. You know what I mean? You can snipe it. Then you have the autopilot, which I say all the time in every single video that I can. It's my favorite tool, really. Because it can generate hundreds of product ideas using AI. You can simply add some filters about the products that you want to get. And in a few seconds, literally in a few seconds, all the products will be available to add to your eBay store. Then we also have product research, okay? To find high potential eBay niches by searching the niche name and then seeing the data behind it. This just gives you a huge advantage, okay? And if you're selling on Shopify, don't go anywhere because we have amazing tools. For example, tools like the store sales tracker, which is, mind-blowing, where you can scan any Shopify store, see their best selling products, analyze their marketing strategies, and even see which Shopify apps that they're using. So basically, it helps you validate ideas before investing time or money. Okay, and this is just a small part of what is available. There are information available there that Shopify does not publicly share and everything. So if I could summarize this entire section in one sentence, it's sales data matters more than opinion, all right? Always validate demand using tools, competitor research, or marketplace sales history before you invest time, money, and energy into a product. So Yes. All right. So let's go. The second big mistake that I personally made when I started dropshipping was working with unreliable suppliers. All right. This just takes me back. Look, at the beginning, I tried like random wholesale suppliers because they offered lower prices than Amazon for products that were already selling on eBay. Okay. So on paper, it looked like a better deal. Okay. And I got really hyped about it. But in reality, it created serious problems. Like customer service was very weak, returns were complicated and sometimes almost impossible. Some orders didn't even ship on time unless I personally contacted the supplier, okay? And when you're selling on a marketplace like eBay, late shipments and poor service can definitely damage your seller account like very quickly. All right. And over time, I learned something very important. When it comes down to choosing suppliers, reliability matters more than saving a few extra dollars. Okay. I wish I could tell this to my younger self. From my experience, especially for beginners, the choice becomes very clear. Okay. If you're selling domestically and you want fast shipping from the same country as your buyer, like Amazon is one of the best beginner-friendly options out there. But now, if you're building an independent store and want to sell, around the world, then AliExpress is usually the better choice because it allows international shipping and also gives you access to worldwide buyers, okay? And if you're running your own Shopify or Wix store, look, working with international suppliers like AliExpress just gives you the ability to sell globally, all right? Which can significantly increase your potential conversion rates, okay? Now, if we compare Amazon and AliExpress, they actually share some important similarities, okay? Both of them offer like a massive range of products at competitive sourcing prices. Both are established marketplaces that remove underperforming or scam sellers, which is very important. They both offer solid customer service systems. They both generally deliver products within the promised time frame. So my practical recommendation is this. If you're dropshipping on eBay, a beginner-friendly strategy is to source around 80% of your products from Amazon with profit margins around 10%. All right. And then you source around 20% from AliExpress with profit margins of 30% or higher. And why, my friend? Because this gives you stability from Amazon, like higher profit margins opportunities from AliExpress. And if you are running your own Shopify or Wix store, I recommend primarily sourcing from AliExpress because it allows you to sell internationally and expand your reach beyond one country. And I know I'm talking a lot, but here, like the bottom line is quite simple. A reliable supplier protects your business. An unreliable one can destroy it. All right. So the next mistake I made, and one that you need to avoid, especially in the beginning, is ignoring real profit calculation. Okay. So in the early stages, I focused too much on revenue instead of profit. And I remember times when my sales were just going up sharply. Revenue looked amazing and it felt good. Like the numbers were exciting. I thought, I made it. But honestly, it's an addictive feeling when you see high sales coming in and everything. But when I finally sat down and checked the actual numbers, I realized something like shocking. My profit was extremely low, like almost non-existent, even though revenue was high. That's when I understood a critical lesson, like revenue is vanity, so profit is reality. Okay, so this is why you must track your numbers properly. So first, you have to create a simple spreadsheet, and then you have to list like all your monthly expenses, such as like Shopify or eBay store subscription, product research software, marketing tools, apps, like plugins, all that stuff, and any other fixed costs. Why? Because this way, what happens is that you can clearly understand your monthly operation expenses. Okay. Second, you need to price your products in a way that leaves enough room for profit after. So we're talking about marketplace or platform fees. We're talking about payment processing fees, marketing costs. So for example, when you're using tools like Zik Analytics, you can see the final calculation after eBay or Shopify fees, okay? And this helps you understand your real bottom line for each product, okay? So this is definitely, for me, like a game changer already. And I strongly recommend taking just a few minutes to actually check like what percentage eBay takes, what Shopify charges, what payment processors deduct, because you know what? You never know your exact cost structure. If you don't know that, you're just guessing, okay? And guessing is quite dangerous in the business, okay? At the end of the day, sales numbers don't matter if profit margins don't support growth. You know what I'm saying? So before we continue, if even one of the things that I mentioned here so far it means something to you or you learned something, I really appreciate if you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, all right? It means a lot to me and to everyone here at Zik. And if you want to use the same product research and validation tools that I'm using here in this video, you can just start using Zik today, okay? Give it a try. Let me know what you think. Comment in any of the videos of my videos and I'll get back to you. Now, let's talk about a mistake that almost nobody warns beginners about: scaling too fast. And I'm not speaking from theory, okay? I made this mistake myself. When I started seeing early success, I got excited and I'm not gonna lie about it, okay? Sales were coming in, things were moving quite quickly. Instead of slowing down and truly understanding the marketplace, I rushed. I opened 3 additional eBay stores in a very short period of time. And in my head, it made perfect sense. Like, you know, if one store is working, 4 stores will make 4 times the money. That was my mindset. But here's what I didn't fully understand back then. I didn't deeply understand eBay's policies. Like, I didn't understand account health metrics, defect rates, and risk triggers. You know, like I had no idea what these things were. I didn't realize how important it is to stabilize one store before multiplying. Instead of scaling strategically, I scaled emotionally, okay? I'm opening my heart here. Big mistake. Okay? And scaling emotionally is dangerous. Why? Because more stores meant more orders to manage, more tracking numbers, more supplier coordination, more customer messages, more room for mistakes. Now, I'm not saying that scaling is a bad idea, all right? I'm not saying that. In fact, I really believe that scaling is essential for growth. But what I'm trying to say basically is like this: don't skip the learning phase, okay? Scale only when you fully understand the platform rules, your processes are stable, your daily operations feel controlled, nothing surprises you anymore, okay? Only then does scaling become smart instead of risky, okay? Like today, I run multiple eBay and Shopify stores, but the difference is that I know I have the systems in place, the experience, the confidence, and the time to manage all of them properly. Like, scaling isn't about speed, okay? It's about stability. Master one store first, then multiply what works. Okay, one more thing I want to talk about is that something that honestly doesn't get discussed enough, and this is something we have to talk about, and that is quitting too early. I've been there myself, and there were times in my journey where I genuinely just wanted to quit. Okay, sales were down, things weren't moving the way I expected, suppliers made mistakes, customers opened cases, which oh my God, I really disliked it, and everything just felt heavy. Okay, you start questioning everything. You start thinking, you know, maybe this isn't for me, or maybe dropshipping just doesn't work anymore. And the dangerous part is, like, in those moments, it's just quitting. I think quitting feels logical, you know. It feels like you're just being realistic. But what I eventually understood is this. Success and e-commerce takes time. It's not instant. I don't care about what Guru says on YouTube, okay? Which makes me very unhappy. Look, it's not automatic. It's not definitely, like, it's not smooth in the beginning, right? Like, the early stage can be very messy, Okay, you are learning the platform, you're figuring out pricing, you're testing products, you're making mistakes, you're fixing mistakes. It feels unstable, and because of that, I think most beginners assume something's wrong, but really nothing is wrong, because that phase is normal. I realized that the difference between people who make it and people who quit isn't intelligence or luck, it's consistency. The people who succeed are simply the ones who stay longer enough to figure it out. Okay, and here's the beautiful part: once things start clicking, once you understand your numbers, once you build better systems, once you choose better suppliers, the business starts running differently. Like, it doesn't feel so chaotic anymore, and it's a great feeling. Okay, it starts working like a well-oiled machine, if you can say it. Like, orders come in more predictably, problems become manageable, you stop reacting emotionally and start operating strategically. And that shift only happens if you stay in the game long enough. So if you're going through a down period right now, I just wanted you to understand something. It's part of the process, okay? You're not alone. It doesn't mean that you're failing. It means that you're building, okay? Just don't quit in the middle of the learning curve, okay? Because very often people quit right before things start improving. Okay, I've seen that many times. Just stay consistent, adjust, improve, keep going, my friend. That's exactly what creates a long-term success in e-commerce. And I can show you many successful sellers who are generating large amounts of sales every single day, whether through eBay dropshipping or their own independent stores. But the truth is, these people are not different from you and me, okay? They don't have special abilities. They didn't get lucky. They're simply part of the small percentage who kept pushing, who kept learning, and didn't quit when things became difficult. And as you can see, the outcome is absolutely worth it, okay? They're not just like building income here. They are building a real business, right? An asset that can grow, scale, and create long-term. And that, it's hard to beat. All right, if there's one thing I want you to remember is this, my friend. Dropshipping success isn't about luck, all right? It's about avoiding costly mistakes, learning faster than the competition, and staying consistent long enough to master the whole process, okay? Master your product research, okay? Choose reliable suppliers, know your numbers, scale with stability, and most importantly, don't quit too early, okay? Cool. All right. If this video helped you avoid, even one major mistake, I want to know about it. Leave in the comment below, subscribe to our channel, like the video, and all that stuff which you already know. Keep moving forward, and I'll see you next time.